My tripod. I guess I should state that, huh? See if anybody wants to have a lunchtime chat. Maybe. Maybe not. Hello, hello. I'm just, hi. What's your name and where you're from? Just was gonna hop on and see if anybody wanted to have a lunchtime chat. I don't got anything to talk about, really. Kind of making up for my Sunday night when TikTok, I don't know, they were like shadow banning me or something was happening. I'm not sure what, but yeah. Colorado, welcome. Do you have a name? Is today the 26th or the 27th? Is it bad when my days run together? Edwin from Colorado, right? Welcome. Glad to have you here. Put this down just a little bit. Well, I'm Renee. Sorry. A little slow today. I just, I didn't have a great live on Sunday night. I don't know. They were like shadow banning me or something. They weren't pushing my videos, my live, nothing. So I thought, and I'm going to try and do these a couple, once or twice a week, have a lunchtime chat. I'm just kind of here to, sorry, I feel like I have a hair somewhere here. Let people know they're not alone. So welcome. Right now I'm from California, but in a couple weeks I'm heading back to Iowa to be with my mom. For a little while. Anyway. So I guess you could say I'm gonna be a hobo. Does anybody even know what that is anymore? Anyway, if you're just hopping on, anybody else? I don't know if anybody else is gonna get on or not. So how's your day going, Edwin? What are you doing today? If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Well, hello, hello. Try to get comfortable here. My day is going okay. The sun is shining. It's warmer outside here than it has been. It's been a little chilly here in California. But I took my dog out earlier and it was better. So that's good. And then I'm going to go back to Iowa weather towards the end of February. So fun. Not looking forward to it, but I have some healing to do back there and I need to go back and be with my mom for a little bit. So we'll make the best of it, right? When life gives you lemons, instead of making lemonade, I love lemon cake. I'm going to make a lemon cake instead of lemons. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. I guess I'm going to put it back up. There we go. Well, it looks like it's just you and me, Edwin. Nobody wants to stick around and chat today. Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Just having a little lunchtime chat. Not talking about anything particular today. I just want to get on and let people know that they're not alone. Yeah. So come say hi. Tell me who you are, where you're from. Steve from Ohio. Hey, Steve. How are you? Is it Alex? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Where in Ohio are you from, Steve? I've got a friend up north and I got a friend down south. And my friend that I'm staying with at the moment, he's from Ohio too. But he's from more central north, I think. I don't know. I'm not real familiar with Ohio. I've been through there, but nobody wants to stay and talk to me. You're from Kenya. Well, welcome. Just having a lunchtime chat. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. We're just having a little chat here. Quick lunchtime chat. My name is Renee. Welcome. I'm decided I'm going to do a couple of these a week, maybe. Just kind of get on, let people know they're not alone. So, anybody got anything they want to talk about today? Or what they're doing? Anybody doing anything really cool? The last time I got on a lunchtime chat, well, no, it's 2 times ago, I guess.
Getting through this crazy life. Might get knocked down, but I got God on my side. Don't stop believing, 'cause the sun will shine.
I don't know what that was or why. Well, I do know why, because I'm heavily connected to spirit. So somebody was trying to send me a message there. When I get off, I'll figure out who. I don't know. Did you guys hear that music? Welcome to my life. I have a really good friend. If you're not familiar, I'm a psychic medium. And when I first realized that I had abilities to talk to those that have crossed over, I had a really good friend on Facebook. Her son passed away, and he loved my microwave. And so he would turn my fan on my microwave, and I could not turn it off unless I would get his message and give it to his mother. So it was quite interesting. And then I got a job, and all the way across the room, nobody would be standing next to it. You know, one of those automated paper towel things that you run your hand and it goes, right? And so then he would come visit me at work, and my paper towel thing would go. So, well, it doesn't exactly work like that, first of all. I would probably guess 3, but I don't know. And would you tell me the truth even if I guessed it right? I don't know. I'm not even focusing, so I wouldn't know. 3 keeps popping in my head, but that doesn't mean anything. And it's not like I can turn it on and turn it off. It's okay. It's fine. I'm used to it. You know, most people don't know why I'm here, why I have a page. So my husband unalived himself in September of 2023. And that's why I'm here. I help people with loss and trauma. And we talk about dreams and goals and uplift others. And it's funny because I get people on here all the time that try to, and I'm not saying this is you, but that try to troll me all the time. Like Mr. Sandler there, who thinks that anything he could say could actually upset me. I've been to hell and back in the last 2 years. And these people get on and say stuff like that. And it's like, whatever, dude. Whatever. I had my whole world of 32 years crumble. Just crumble by the choice that my husband made. So people think they can get on and say something that's going to hurt my feelings. They have another thing coming. But that was funny. But no, it's not like a switch. I would have to focus and all that good stuff. So you were just being dumb. It's okay. Like I said, I don't get offended easily either. So you're good. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm just hopping on to have a chat. Just an afternoon chat. Sometimes I want to start doing this once or twice a week, just in the middle of the day. I normally go on at night, but I decided I want to do a lunchtime chat just so people know that are here during the day that they know they're not alone, right? Sometimes just somebody just needs to hear you're not alone. So that's all. Just checking in, see how everybody's day is. Mine's pretty chill. I have some sugar cookies that I made yesterday that's in the fridge waiting to be rolled out. So I'm going to make cookies today. I have to get some messages to put out Other than that, it's a pretty chill day. Anybody got anything interesting going on? What I was saying before some music started playing. 2 times ago, the first time I did the lunchtime chat, I had a lady on that was in the Dominican Republic. She was scuba diving. I'm like, man, I'd much rather be there. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you got something you want to talk about, how's your day going? Not going? Did you have some speed bumps in your day? That's what I like to call them. You know, those little things that just happen in your day. You know, maybe you got up late, or, you know, just a little snafu with your wardrobe, or something happened at work. You know, I always like to call them speed bumps, you know, and like you're on your way to work or school or wherever you're going in the morning and you go over a speed bump, you don't think about it through your whole day, right? So that's how I like to think about those little things, right? They're just speed bumps. Just keep going and forget that they ever happened, right? Don't let it define your whole day. So, I don't know. I'm just rambling. Like I said, I have nothing really to talk about. Anybody want to talk to me? Hopefully TikTok's letting your comments come through. They don't always. Sometimes they like to filter them, even though I have no filters on, and I have absolutely no control over that. So, if you're just hopping on, you want to chat, tell me how your day's going. Anybody? My name is Renee, if you're not familiar. Hi. Is it Classy? What is your name? Do you have a name and where you're from? Hi. Thank you for the likes. I didn't catch who just sent them. It went too quickly. But I appreciate them. Thank you so much. They do help. Like I said, my name is Renee. I'm just kind of here to have a chat, see how everybody's day's going. Let people know that you're not alone. And if you weren't here, somebody would miss you, and somebody would you would change somebody's story. Hello, hello. Nobody wants to talk? Nobody? That's okay. So yeah, I'm in California. It's nice today. In a couple weeks, I'll be heading back to Iowa. I got to go back and be with my mom for a little bit and do some healing, which I'm not looking forward to, but I am looking forward to, because finally maybe I'll be able to close the chapter of my life and move forward and start my new beginning. So I am looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to going back to the cold. Anybody else on the really cold? What do I mean by healing? So, like I said, my husband unalived himself in September of 2023. And so I've pretty much worked through everything. I'm through the guilt. I finally just was able to journal to him about a month ago that I'm no longer angry with him. But I'm still struggling with the flashbacks. I found him that day, and I wasn't sure how to heal that. And then my guide said, you have one more step on your journey before you can close that chapter. And so I have to go back to, I guess what you would say, the scene of the crime, because he did it in my mom's yard. So yeah, so I'm going to go back to Iowa, and the only way to heal it is to feel it. And so I'm going to, I guess what you would call full circle healing. I'm going to go back to Iowa, and I'm going to deal with the flashbacks as they come and work my way through that. And hopefully, I mean, obviously you never heal completely, but yeah, work my way through it and feel it and heal it, hopefully. And I can finally, after a little over 2 years, be able to kind of shut that door to my past. There's nothing left for me there. There hasn't been since the day he did it. And I can move forward. So, and start a new chapter, a new book. After 32 years, you know, I consider that was a book. So, yeah. Thank you for the follow, by the way. I appreciate that. I'm just rambling again. I'm good at that. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Anybody want to chat? Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I tell everybody, you have to feel it to heal it, and you have to walk through that storm. And so for me, I have to go back and deal with the storm. So, and maybe it'll help my flashbacks, or at least help me to be able to deal with them, right? I tell everybody, you can't sweep things under the rug. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, welcome. Is it Eugene? Welcome. You can only sweep things under the rug for so long, and I have been kind of avoiding them, right? When they come, I try to, usually it's when I close my eyes. Did I see your last message? I probably did not get it, to be honest with you. So no, if I didn't read it, I didn't get it, and I apologize. It's TikTok. TikTok does that. Hey, Jessica, thank you for the likes. Let me see. No, all I got is I'm sorry to hear that. Is that which one you were talking about? I'm sorry. I usually read them all. I did get that one. That was the last one I got. And thank you. I appreciate that so much. But so, yeah. And my mom is going to be 78 here in March. And, life is short. Tomorrow's never promised. So I'm going to go back and technically, I'm homeless. Once I leave here, I need to leave here. I'm not on the lease of my friends, and so I can only stay till the end of February. So I need to leave. I had given up my lease to my apartment when I came here. Long story there. And so I'm technically homeless, so I'm going to go back and live with mommy at 51 years old. No, I have a plan. I just, it's just going to be a bridge to the new door and my new beginning. So evening. Well, it's only 12:25 here, but sure. If it's evening there, evening to you. Thank you from Jersey. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Thank you for all the likes. I appreciate that. So yeah, so I'm going to go back and do some healing and spend some time, much needed time with my mom. I haven't seen my mom. It'll be a year in March since my aunt passed away. And my mom's really struggling with that, having her sister around, and she's lonely. So I need to spend some time with my mom too. And like I said, do some full circle healing. And it's just the next stop. I'm one of those people, if you've been on my lives ever, you'll see that I've just learned to trust the process. And so I just go with the flow, and when, my divine team, the divine source, God, creator, whatever it is you say or believe, tells me it's time to go, I go, and it's going to be my time to go in a couple weeks. And like I said, I kind of tentatively have a plan, but I always know it's the divine's plan. I've learned that in 2.5 years almost, that I can have all the plans in the world. But I also know that I have a higher purpose here. I discovered that after my husband passed. That's when I discovered I had my abilities. You just sent me a DM? Okay. I will read it when I get off of here. So I do have a higher purpose to help people. And that's why I went through everything that I went through. And so I have lots of things I need to do. That's what you believe? Yes, it really is, honestly. And when you stop having that tug of war with the divine and your divine team of, I want to know when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen and what's going to happen and all this stuff, right? Thank you for the roses. I appreciate that so much. And the badge. But when you stop having that tug of war and you just learn to just breathe and just have complete faith. I always like to say, and I hate this phrase actually, but the phrase that everybody always says, Jesus take the wheel. I hate that because his name, first of all, isn't Jesus. So when you say that, sorry, I hate to burst your bubble. I've been down a lot of rabbit holes, but when you say that, you're just talking about Zeus actually. But metaphorically, I guess, if that's the right term, I'm letting the divine take the wheel. I guess I should say that. So yeah, so I just let them take the wheel and they guide me, and they've guided me since my husband passed. Like I said, he died I gotta watch what I say, unalived himself in September of 23. And otherwise they'll kick me off. And I went back to South Dakota to my apartment in October. And that's when I deep dived into meditation and journaling, because he didn't leave me in a great spot financially. So therapy was out, and I'm the unique girl. Oh, that's okay. I'm doing good though, but I appreciate that. Am I gay? No, I'm not. Nothing wrong with that. You do you, boo. Just not for me. So I deep dived into meditation because I knew group therapy wasn't going to work for me either because I'm the unique girl. But I knew that if I was going to stay on this planet, I had to figure out a way to heal myself because I was not doing well. My husband and I were together for 32 years, never apart longer than 2 weeks in the 32 years. I did not know an adult life without him, and I didn't know how to live without him. And so I deep dived into meditation and journaling, and that's when I discovered my abilities to talk to my guides. The other psychic medium stuff, that didn't come for a couple months later. And so my guides started giving me messages for others. And the very first message actually that I ever got in meditation was, what heals you will heal others. And so that's why I'm here. I lost my son, then my partner. It gives you such meaning of life. It really does, right? One, it teaches you that tomorrow's never promised. Always live for the moment, and for the little moments, that's the thing is, we're always going through something in life, right? That's my takeaway. When my guides taught me to change my perspective, when I was able to change it from, why is this happening to me, to everything that happens for me. And it really does. We're just here in this big school of life. Thank you for the follow. We're just in this big school of life learning lessons. That's what we're here for. And so, just tweaking my perspective that little bit, and my guides really teaching me, thank you for the roses. I appreciate that. Teaching me to be present in the moment. That's really struggle for me, especially in the beginning. Now, not so much. But in the beginning, right, it's like I had one foot in my past that no longer existed, and I had one foot in a future that I had no idea where I was going or what that would be, right? And so learning to just be present. And like I was saying, we all go through things and things happen every day. But what people forget is it's not about the destination. It's about the journey getting there. And every day, even if you're going through something, that's still part of your journey, embrace it. I embrace things now, now I even told my son, I said, it's funny now when something goes wrong or plans change, the old me, the A personality me would have like freaked out and cried and stewed. And now I'm just like going, oh, no. This is a test to see my reaction now. It's not how I will handle the situation. Now I just go with the flow of the situation. Now it's, okay, how is she going to respond? Is she going to freak out, or is she just going to go, well, there's another speed bump? Because when I lost my husband, I lost everything. Everything I'd worked 32 years for, everything. And every earthly possession I had was basically taken from me. And like I said, so nothing a troll that can come on here and say something to me. I've been to hell and back. So dude, if you think you can hurt my feelings when people say things to me, nah. So anyway, I'm just on here to have a lunchtime chat, see where everybody's at, how everybody's doing. I feel like somebody on here today needed to know that you're not alone. You're never alone. And if you weren't here, somebody would miss you and you would change somebody's story. So, I understand life. Yeah, I sure do. Well, I've been through plenty of it. Hi. Do you have a name and where you're from? Thank you for the heart, Jessica. I appreciate that so much. And all the likes. I appreciate you guys so much. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about with me today or need to vent about or anything? Otherwise, I'm going to hop off. Becky from DC, welcome. Glad to have you here. My name is Renee, by the way. Welcome. So, excuse me, burping up my breakfast. I apologize. Does anybody have anything they need to talk about or want to talk about today? Tell me about your day or your life or anything, or have had a loss that you're not dealing with. That's our specialty here. My community was created to help other people through their loss and their trauma and to uplift others, right? And I believe in, instead of being that person that knocks off somebody's crown, I'm the person that's here to straighten it. So, pleaser. Do you want to elaborate on that a little more? I feel like I'm stuck in repeat cycle. It's so shit. I don't know how to tell you. Well, you're welcome to DM me after and we can talk about it. Are you a people pleaser? Is that where you're going, or am I way off there? And where do you feel like you're stuck? Have you, Jessica, have you talked to your divine team? Is it a lesson maybe that you're needing to learn and so that's why you're on repeat? Been there, done that. Yes, you're a people pleaser. Okay, well, I can tell you the best way to solve that. Are you ready? Are you ready? Come here, I'll tell you a secret. Figure out who you are and learn to love you. And guess what? You'll stop pleasing people. You know why? Because you'll no longer need their validation. It's the most wonderful, liberating feeling in the whole world. I went like that for a while now. No more the fool. Boundaries. There you go. Same thing. It all ties into the same thing I tell everybody. And if you're not familiar, I have a YouTube channel. It's under Scorpio Medium. If you go over there and check out all my lives, and you'll see, is it Becky, right? If you go check out my lives, I have lots of lives that talk about all kinds of things that would help you with those two things. But the main thing, and it all comes back to, figure out who you are. Who are you? What do you love? What are your passions? And learn to love yourself. And guess what? Like I said, you'll learn to set boundaries because you love you and you won't let anybody take your peace ever again. Awesome. I appreciate that. But you'll learn boundaries because you love you and you won't let anybody take your peace anymore. And you won't people please anymore, like I said, because you love you and you don't care about anybody's opinions and what they say or think of you anymore because you love you, and that's the most important thing. And so you don't need their validation anymore and you'll stop pleasing people. But if you go check out my lives from past, I have lots of them over there. They'll really help you. But that's really the sole issue of it. And if you need help with that, DM me, email me, do something. All that's in the bio, my email, and I will help you. You're welcome. But that's truly, in my almost 2.5 year journey, that's what I discovered. And it doesn't matter what topic I talk about on my lives. It all comes back to learning who you are and loving yourself. Because once you love yourself, like I said, it's so validating. You don't need anybody else's validation. You love you and you don't care anymore. And what I tell everybody, then your give a crap button quits. You know, it gets broke. So just my 2 cents, but a very hard lesson to learn, but a lesson learned nevertheless. So when I lost my son, I thought I could help the world, but I realized you can't. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna pop into my grandma for a second because my grandma would say, can't never do nothing. I know that there's so much wrong with that statement if you're an English teacher or into grammar. I get it. But my grandma didn't believe in can't, right? You never said can't around my grandma. Explain to me why you can't. I want to know. Seriously. And how long ago did you lose your son? How old was your son? Do you mind talking to me about it? Did you deal with it? Thank you for all the likes. I appreciate that so much. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Welcome. Like I said, I'm just having a little lunchtime chat here. I feel like somebody out there needed to know that you're not alone. And if you weren't here, somebody would miss you and you would change somebody's story. So if you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Welcome. No, my grandma always told me there's 2 kinds of people in this world. Nene, because that was my name, and I can't believe I'm putting this out there for the whole world because I hated that. But my grandma would say, Nene, there's 2 types of people in this world. And she would say, there's those that find a way, and there's those that make excuses. And she said, you will be one of those people that find a way. And then she always said, where there's a will, there's a way. And if you want something bad enough, you will find that way. So I don't believe in can't either. So you hop into my email or my inbox and we can talk about it. Because if you really want to help people, girl, we'll work together. We'll figure it out. But No, can't. Can't don't exist. They need to take that out of the dictionary. I'm sorry. I'm just in a mood today. You got the spicy me today for lunch. Anyway, if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Anybody else want to talk to me? Oh, anybody? It's who you help. I'm not quite sure if I'm understanding what you mean by that. Can you elaborate just a little bit for me? Rick from Alabama, welcome. Welcome to our lunchtime chat. We're not talking about anything particular here. You'll chat. And your name and where you're from? Normally I have a topic, but tonight, I'm so used to only going on at night. But I decided I want to do a couple of these. What? E up? What am I missing? Alton, aka Pope, F-A-F-O. Okay, gotcha. Oh, you're from Costa Rica. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Alton. Did I say that right? I hate it when I slaughter people's names. It's the only time I put my lotion on is when I do lives because I don't sit still long enough. Any other time. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. My name is Renee. I'm just hopping on for a lunchtime chat. I have nothing but time and nothing to talk about. But I feel the need that I need to get on and somebody maybe needs to know that you're not alone. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. You're not alone. And if you weren't here, somebody would miss you and you would change somebody's story. So welcome. Anybody else want to talk to me today? Give me some more insight about what you were saying. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. Or hopefully your comments are coming through. I apologize if I don't read them. They're not. For some reason, TikTok likes to filter my comments. All my filters are off. Sometimes I don't get any comments. It really sucks, especially when your page depends on interaction with other people. So yeah, so sometimes I don't get any comments. Sometimes they filter out the same person on a live. Sometimes they filter out every third comment. I have no say or no control. Yeah, it really is jacked up. It really is. And it's frustrating because like I said, my page, when I get on live, my page depends on me communicating with people, right? It's a conversation. And when you can't have a conversation, you're just talking to yourself, which I do all the time anyway, but it's not the same. It doesn't work very well. So if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. My name is Renee. Welcome. Just having a lunchtime chat. How's everybody's day going? I'm in California. It's actually a little warmer today. I should be outside getting sunshine instead of sitting in my room. Anybody? All right, guys. Well, if nobody else, like I said, if you're curious, I do have, like I said, Scorpio Medium. It's a YouTube channel. I have lots of great content, past lives over there if you're interested in some kind of healing over there on Scorpio Medium. I am here starting next week. It's going to be Monday through Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I also just started doing a Zoom grief meeting at 5:30. So if you're interested, if you're grieving, going through some kind of a loss. Yeah, I know you guys all got snow and freezing. I know my mom's and all that, all my family. Got a jet. See you soon. All right. Awesome. I hope you hop on again. J Boy Wallace, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Shoot, I'm going to start pushing buttons. I don't want to. I know I'm going back to Iowa in like 3 weeks and I'm not looking forward to going back to the icky cold, but it's a much needed to get back and do some healing back there and to be with my mom and see my mom. So yeah. But like I said, I'm here. I'm usually Sunday through Wednesday, but as of next week, I'm going Monday through Wednesday. Cannot talk today. 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm live usually. And then like I said, if you're grieving or you're going through a loss and you need just, to know you're not alone, inbox me, email me. I just started a Zoom grief meeting on Thursday nights at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I would love to have you there. And if you're interested, if you didn't catch it, Scorpio medium, I am a medium. So if you would like a reading with me, you can also check out my email. That's how I set those up. So you would just email me. I do half-an-hour sessions and hour sessions to kind of fit everybody's budget. I try to keep it affordable because I'm just here to help people, but my guides tell me I have to. I'm a service. And so, yeah. But anyway, I don't have anything else to talk about today, guys. I hope you all have a great day. I will be live tonight at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm not sure the topic yet. Haven't done my meditation yet today. I'm running really late. So I have to meditate, get my message out for the day, and figure out what my message for tonight's going to be. And I got some cookies to roll out that I have in the fridge from yesterday that I haven't done yet. So I hope y'all have a great day. Remember to make it great because it is a choice. And on that note, until we meet again.